Are you one of those painters that absolutely loves color? Like hashtag, I have this thing with color. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those painters. I love color. I'm a colorist. That is what I do. It's one of my love languages, speaking through color. But before I really understood the power of color and how to wield it as a painter, I actually had to have a love affair with black and white. And the reason why was that black and white and a value scale really holds the key to using color in an amazing way. You need to understand the ranges of shades and tints and tones and values, because you can pretty much use any colors you want in any way that you want with devotion and passion, and it's okay. But if you want to use them in a way that's super believable to the viewer, or connects or resonates with your internal desire to say things in a certain way through pigment and paint that you feel are uniquely yours, you need to understand how to use the values to your advantage. I had to learn to do that by first using black, white, and grayscale. I had to do that through pushing charcoal and black pigment and titanium white, and just experiencing the range of shading and values and drama and all of those things that shift flat line shapes to form with glorious structure. You know, color is a beautiful thing, and I will always paint with color, but my color would not be what it is today without the practice and discovery using black and white and understanding the fundamentals. My What's Your Version courses are a little bit different. They're online, but instead of taking a course that's typical in the sense of you meet an instructor, they give you a supply list and step-by-step instruction of, we're going to do this first, we're going to do this second, we're going to do this third. And your outcome is very similar, because that's how a lot of courses are structured, and it's important that they are that way. This course is different. My passion to work with painters and creatives is to meet them at the place where they are. If their desire is to understand what their version of beautifully different and interesting looks like. Their version, not mine. What's their version? What's your version? That's what I want to offer painters. You've taken the courses, you know how to paint. Are you ready to find and discover how to paint like you are called to paint, so that you can speak through paint and pigment and express that internal desire in an outward way? We tend to learn by watching what others do and understanding best practices and mimicking that, or bringing that into our process and taking what we need from that and fusing it with our own. What's Your Version courses are a 3-hour live spiel of you bring to the table the tools that you love, the pigments that you love, the substrates that you love, and you have an idea of what you're after. And what I do is I give you a live dialogue of shifting and creative problem solving on the fly as you go. And then we step back and we evaluate it in real time and process what it looks like, what it feels like, what's problematic, what's amazing, what our preferences are, and what we're going to do again. And then we go do it again and replicate it. It's the closest thing to having me in your studio right beside you, cheering you on and guiding you through, did you think about this? Well, what if you shift this? Because it's in that type of challenging discovery and play where you're gonna find and learn the sweet spot to what you're after. You've got to be brave to do it though. You've got to be willing to make a tremendous amount of mess. And then keep coming back to, but what is it that I'm really trying to say? And what is it visually? What does that look like visually? What does that feel like visually? through paint and pigment and charcoal and color and all those things. If you're a painter and you are excited about painting, you love painting, but you're willing to be brave and step out of your comfort zone and try something a little bit different to kind of engage you in the thought process of going down a little bit of a different road in your effort to discover your version of beautifully different and interesting, reach out to me. Let's chat. I've got 2 new courses coming up this month. What's Your Version courses? One's on June 13th. One's a little bit later in the month. They're both in black and white. The first one's non-representational abstraction. The second one is figurative abstraction. But both of them coming at it from an insinuated loose point of view instead of hardline controlling. It's about expression. But it's about learning to trust our own selves, preferences, and desires as painters, and discovering the physical way to manipulate our paints and pigments and tools so that we end up with an outcome that says and speaks for us without words. It's a dynamic course. It's a dynamic way to paint. It's not for the faint of heart. As my husband says, it'll put hair on your chest. But if you're up for a fun challenge and you want to gather with a group of 30 other artists doing the same thing and engaging in real time and learning how to problem solve, let's pull up a chair together. I would love to help you discover your own version of beautifully different and interesting. And we're going to start with black and white.